Hello, I'm Vladimir Kramnik, and I would like to record a few videos, not too long, hopefully. But there is a lot to say about the recent state of affairs, about my dispute with chess.com on the cheating issues and anti-cheating measures, etc. There are, well, many so-called arguments which people from chess.com and chess.com friendly chess.com sponsored sources are trying to present, and first I would like to comment on it, to refute some very logically. I mean, you will, okay, then it's your choice to decide if it was convincing or not, but in general, on a general note, I would like to say that when we are discussing something, when there is a certain dispute, I believe that your position has to be argumented, well argumented with facts, and it shouldn't consist any contradictions, at least very clear logical and factual contradictions. I mean, that is basically what was already at that time Aristotle started to create this kind of concept of argumentation logics, and actually it's still by the way, for some of you who maybe who don't know about it, but actually we are still using the Aristotle methods of logics, but frankly, lately the world is changing, and it seems to me that we are entering this postmodern era, which was, by the way, very interestingly discussed and described by some quite recent philosophers like Derrida or Deleuze or Baudrillard. You can read something about it, that it's actually a totally different way of thinking, way of perceiving world, which is quite alien to me. So I would still, if you don't mind, I would still keep with this old good Aristotle logics and argumentation. And therefore, when I try to express my opinion, my statement on something, I always argument it. It doesn't mean that my arguments are flawless. No, maybe sometimes there are some mistakes or some inaccuracies, but yeah, and I'm ready to admit it if the other side is proving it with logics, arguments, or facts. Which is actually in this debate, virtual debate, because chess.com I've offered many times to have a live debate, with anyone, mathematician of chess.com, Danny Resch, whoever, and to discuss these matters live on internet, I mean online, on the in stream, but they never responded. Same goes for channels like Gotham Chess and some other, well, popular channels. They just pretend that they never got this invitation from me to discuss it with them. So, well, therefore we have to, I had to go public and to start to record video like now and just explaining my position, because well, unfortunately, the opponent side doesn't want and pretty much afraid to do it in a direct conversation. But I am always ready. So that was the beginning. Let's go one by one. Those, so to say, arguments. First, that I'm insinuating or even accusing people of cheating. Yeah. I've already explained many times. First of all, definitely not accusing. I mean, you can see in my language, I'm not accusing, and I exactly many times, and now I will repeat again, I explain the reasons why what I'm doing and why I'm doing this. So all what I do is I check statistics. Relevant statistics. I will also explain in my further videos why it is relevant. And okay, I'm just publishing it. In fact, I don't publish analysis or probabilities, even though I do it with my team of mathematicians. We do it, but and I'm ready at any moment to present very detailed analysis of different statistics, but only in return to chess.com analysis, because otherwise whom am I talking with? I mean, okay, if they at least once since half year they haven't done it, give certain factual arguments with numbers, I'm ready to discuss it, and I have it all professionally done. But for the moment, publishing it, doesn't make sense, because all what I'm forced to do, because the other side just doesn't appear, in the ring. So I'm just staying there alone and informing people, explaining people about the situation, raising awareness of the problem, and obviously, even already what I publish, sometimes it's a bit too complicated for people, but if I publish a full report, 20 pages, mathematical report, it will not change actually anything. But anyway, I'm ready to do it. I just strongly believe that it shouldn't be my task to make an in-depth investigation, examination of certain players, certain statistics, but actually it's a pure direct duty of chess.com, and they're not doing it. At least they never proved it. I mean, on words they said from time to time that they're checking, but I never saw any proof of it, at least in the last half year. Why should I trust words, just words? At least I present statistics, I present numbers, and I'm responsible for what I present, and I'm explaining exactly the logics behind it, and I'm explaining that I have a certain mathematical explanations as well, but for the moment from the other side I don't get anything. And that's why all what I do, it's not accusations or even insinuations, of cheating. I mean, I noticed a very, very strange, I would say very inadequate statistics, which can theoretically in each separate case can be natural, can happen naturally. But in all those cases together, it's very clear that to me and to any mathematician, if he would look at it, that it's highly unlikely, to put it mildly, that all those statistical incoherencies might happen naturally. Yes, so that is why, because I tried to inform chess.com earlier many times in private about certain very strange statistics of certain players, certain tournaments. Couple of times maybe I got the response that we checked it and everything is fine. Most of the time not even that, just no response at all. So okay, I just don't see. I mean, I also can tell that I've played already on chess.com about 1,500 only blitz games, and I haven't yet played against a player who was using unfair methods, because in such case usually you get a certain notification that you get back your rating and so on. I never got any yet within this 1,500 games, which also even statistically already clear, because they ban 1% of players, so already statistically it's clear that I should have met at least one, in fact more of course. So it also goes against the words as many other statistics and things. So finally I had no choice than to start doing it publicly, and again I can state here once again that there is no particular case where I'm accusing where something is 100% clear, even though in a few of the cases which I published, I believe that already this statistics is enough to be sure actually that there was a fact of cheating. But anyways, it's not my responsibility and not my legacy to decide, whom to ban, whom not. I can express my opinion, I can prove it with data, explain why do I think so, but it has to be done by chess.com if they really fight against cheating as they pretend. I frankly, all my last half a year, all this period of time I'm working on it, and communicating one-sided usually with Chess.com on it. I simply, unfortunately, cannot tell that I have the feeling that this is a goal. I might be wrong, it's my personal opinion based on a lot of different stories and facts, but anyway, I mean, my very clear feeling that they are not doing enough, if to be very diplomatic, actually. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Then, second, what are the usual arguments of the platform in order to actually to ignore to ignore all kind of suspicious statistics? So this is a kind of vicious circle, yeah. So they say, okay, we will consider, we will check it, we will not tell you the result. I mean, we'll tell you the result only, I mean, nothing else, absolutely nothing else, just that, okay, this person is banned, this person is innocent. That's it. Whatever statistics, and sometimes it is really alarming, but simply we have to trust, like in religion, we have to trust them on words. Just okay, they tell so it means it is like this. Sorry, I'm not like used to work like that. I want some explanation, especially when something is very strange, you know, clear to everyone that this statistics is incoherent, is very non-standard, and because me as other players, many other players, we are playing these tournaments, we are playing for money, and we want to be sure that what Chess.com claims very clearly states that they're doing their best to secure fair play. I mean that this is according to reality. I personally, and not only me, as you can, as you know, have serious doubts about it. And I think I have a right as a chess player, as a person whom, you know, who is playing there, who is promised in return of my play, I mean of playing there and also maybe bringing certain public watching my games. Okay, I only think I'm promised, of course, money to be paid if I manage to earn it, and fair play. I mean, and okay, it is a duty. I'm sorry, it's not an option. It's a duty of Chess.com to do everything possible, and also in a way to explain some things, to explain to players. Because so that is a point. I mean, one very important point, that it's not a private company, completely private. You know, if they would be selling, buying things, it's another story. It's their business. They're just responsible towards the law, but probably okay, and that's it. But they're working in a public sector, I would say, like sports. So it's actually, I mean, chess as a game is above them, me, and all of us. Yeah, it's a game. There are certain rules, certain traditions, rules of the game, and any structure, online, offline, sponsor who comes to chess, well, has to obey certain regulations. Yeah, and that's why. And fair play, I mean, fighting against cheating, trying to do your best to preserve fair play is a must for everyone who is dealing in this area in chess world, and so it's an obligation. Sorry, I don't buy this conversation that it's a private company, they can do what they want. Okay, maybe, but then tell it openly. Okay, maybe if you can tell it openly, could be, but then probably many people will not be part of the platform. Yeah, so that's why that is one story. And second, what is actually another argument, which is kind of funny, because again, it doesn't stand actually the factual check, the fact check, because they very often they pretend that they don't tell anything about the checkup, examination of different players, because it's it's a secret, and that potential or actual cheaters can learn their methods. Yeah, well, first of all, quite often I was just giving statistics and simply was asking, and in some case when statistics was really, I would say, alarming, I was demanding just an explanation if it's okay or not. Chess.com doesn't have to reveal anything, any secret, then just checking it and telling, let's say, giving the number of mathematical probability of it. I have mine after very serious work with mathematicians, and certain statistics has, I mean, the probability of lower than 1%, in my opinion. Okay, I would like just that they give the number, because once you give at least one number, you are responsible for what you said, yeah. But and it doesn't mean revealing any secret at all, because all the data I already produced publicly, I already published it. So sorry, this argument just doesn't work in many cases. When I was asking them to answer, and Chess.com was trying to explain to public that it's a secret and they cannot answer. No, it just doesn't work because of above mentioned. And second, what is the most funny actually, that first of all, there are few players, and this is a known fact, who knows exactly, who was checking these algorithms, the anti-cheating algorithms, and it's published actually. So there are some players and they play actively on the platform, so they know exactly the algorithm, which I don't find right, but okay, it's a business. I mean, still, like, even if you sign NDA, non-disclosure agreement, well, there is no guarantee that one player will tell to another player and so on. So basically, it's not like a full secret. Anyways, by the way, I didn't want it, because we started some conversation. They said that maybe under some circumstances, maybe half a year ago, that they can maybe introduce me to the anti-cheating measures in detail. I will have to sign NDA agreement, but I believe that as long as I'm playing on the platform, I shouldn't know. I shouldn't exactly know the exact algorithms. And in any case, I'm not sure they would have done it. So finally, I don't know for sure about those algorithms, but I can judge that they are not perfect because of many reasons I'm going to explain later. So it's not already a secret, but the most actually funny, if you want, thing is that about a year ago, without any need, nobody was actually asking it, they have published a long, very detailed report on the case of Hans Niemann, who was banned on chess.com. And actually, reading this very long report, everybody, it's still on the internet, it's still open source, so everybody can actually easily understand like 90% of the anti-cheating measures. So basically, publishing this report without any necessity, they opened completely, the anti-cheating system. So after they did it, then to argument it in this way that it's so secretive, the system, that we cannot even give a mathematical probability on numbers which are presented. This is really laughable. So I would just give you as an example. Let's say I will now record in this video and publish it. Let's say the way how I prepare for games. Let's say my opening preparation against this or that player. I will publish it, you will all watch it, and then during the next year, in every interview when this question by journalists will come up, I will always tell, no, sorry, I'm not going to tell you, because it's a secret. It's very, very important information. I don't want anyone to know it. So it's more or less the same story. It's just absurd, yeah? Basically everybody already knows how it works. Of course, maybe they make a certain adjustments here and there, but in general, it's clear, and they revealed it themselves. So yeah, that is about this argument about the extremely secretive anti-cheating system, and probably that's enough for the first video, and I'm going to record the second one. Please subscribe to my channel. Please comment on it. But all comments should be well argumented, not rude, not insulting. That is going to be deleted, and with logical arguments. Of course, you can be disagreeing with me. Obviously, that's okay, but in a respectful and argumented way. That is very much welcomed. So the second video I will record soon, and I will continue explaining my position, trying to refute logically and factually the arguments of the other side. So see you soon. Thank you for listening to me.